we're back at the Whiskey Blendery. If you saw the last episode, we talked about good old Doc Holliday, and not the Doc Holliday I thought, but still a good doc. So, Tim, many people come in here, a lot of clubs, and they get to pick barrels. Mm-hmm. Walk them through that process. If you are a whiskey connoisseur, someone who's interested in whiskey, enjoy whiskey, and never have had say or control in, hey, I kind of like this more than that, or kind of playing around, this is a place you want to come, and he's going to tell you exactly what you get and then what it looks like too.
Yeah, so we get a lot of whiskey clubs that come in, and the reason, and I've done a lot of barrel picks myself even before having this. So the reason why I would do that is because I want something unique. I want something that nobody else has, and I want just an amazing barrel that never hits the shelves. The people in our club or our charity or whatever it's going towards, they're the only ones that get it. Yeah. So that's the benefit. And here you have creative control, not only picking the barrel, but you can make a custom blend. So if it's like, man, you love this barrel, but hey, it's a little sharp on the edges, or man, it's a little hot, or so you have creative control over proof point. If you want to add wheat to it, if you want to like make it a blend where you bring your group in and do the actual blending process, and then we give you the option to finish it in a finishing barrel. So if you want a fresh barrel of anything, I'll bring it in for you. And so full customization. So whether it's apple brandy, whether it's cognac, the PX sherry we're doing for a club right now. So it's really like build a bear for whiskey. Whatever you want.
Build a bottle.
Yeah, whatever you want, we'll do it. And it's the end product is something far superior that you could buy off the shelf anywhere, and it's something unique, and it usually involves a fun process or a fun afternoon, either picking the barrel or doing the blend.
And how long does that take for somebody to go? What's the process like? Is it a day, 2 days, 3 days?
Well, we've done it anywhere from an hour to 3 days. So we've had people come in town, and then they're staying the weekend kind of thing, and we're committed to keep going until they're like so excited about what the end product is. So whatever that takes. Usually we can do that in 3 hours.
3 hours, you can pick a barrel.
Yeah,
not bottle it, but just pick it at least, right?
Right, pick it, get it all going. So what that looks like is we'll line up usually 5 barrels, or like a club that we had 2 clubs yesterday say they were interested in doing something. One of them called me actually when we were on that serve event. One of them called me, and they were a book club. And the book club just went to Kentucky and is all excited about whiskey, and they wanted to do a barrel pick. So now book club, now that has whiskey, like everything's going to whiskey. So
read and drink, people. Read and drink. That's it. That's gonna be the new thing.
Read.
There you go. Huh. There you go. Hey, look, you never thought of it that way, but you might be a better reader.
I wouldn't be.
You and me both. About 2 pages in.
So we'll line up. I didn't.
No. Look, it can pick up on yourself. Look, guys, Tim's new to this thing, so we keep it moving.
The one time you can laugh at me for being new.
Well, you pointed down, so I was like, okay, let me
look. See, he's not understanding. This guy behind the camera, he is.
Meanwhile, a couple days ago, I'm holding a piece of wood, and he said, "Is that a thief? Is that a whiskey?"
No, it's just wood.
Nope, it's just a piece of wood.
Yeah. So we'll line up. Man, something's going on over there. So we'll line up barrels. So we'll poll them. Hey, what are you looking for? And I have a pretty good idea of all the barrels in here. We got like 140 barrels in here. So if they say a low rye bourbon, a high rye bourbon, a rye, a wheated whiskey, like something unique, something experimental, whatever they're looking for, I have a good idea of what those barrels are. So I'll taste them prior to their event coming in. So I'll pre-vet these barrels as, hey, these are my best barrels, because the best barrels I have, because we don't distribute and we don't mass produce anything, when they're in their sweet spot, I want people to enjoy them. So I'll tag the best barrels I have, and I want to give them to the clubs. Yeah. So I'll pick out probably 5 barrels that I think are the best on what they're looking for.
Don't get confused. When he says give, nobody get no free whiskey in here.
Yeah, but it's a great deal for the club because they're buying the whole barrel, we're significantly discounting those bottles.
Yeah.
And so,
And the one thing I learned about clubs too, just to be clear, is that they do a lot of giving back. So part of there is bringing their people together,
Yep.
getting them, customized bottles of whiskey, and then turn around and giving back to the charity.
yeah, almost every whiskey club that we deal with has some form of like giving back to the community, which is super cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
But so I line up the barrels. They thief directly from the barrel using an actual thief, not a piece of wood, because it wouldn't work very good.
At all.
Yeah.
At all. You just have a wet piece of wood with whiskey on it.
So, and then we'll go over, the yield, because sometimes the yield of the barrels might, I might only have 80 bottles in the barrel if they're picking like a 8 to 10 year old.
And let's say if it's here, how many bottles are you getting?
Yeah, so if you want to calculate like 265 bottles, if it's full with no age on it, no evaporation, so if it's 50%, take that number divided by 2. It kind of gets me close.
So you can get 260 bottles out of these barrels?
No, if there's no age on it. Like if it's just filled, then you can. But
then that defeats the
8
purpose.
years later, you're not doing that. So yeah, I would say on the high side, you're getting 75% on a 6 year here after they're being here. And then on the low side, a leaky barrel, you name it, we've had as low as like 30% yield on some of them. Yeah, and then we do half barrels or quarter barrels. If a club only wants 50 bottles or 100 bottles, they want the whole barrel, but they don't have enough members or whatever. So we accommodate them as well. Or if they just want to make a blend of 50 bottles, we can do that. So we'll line up all the best barrels for them to pick, and they try them blind. So I don't tell them anything. When we thief from the barrels, I take all the markings off of it. So similar to like a Four Roses barrel pick, they put a black like sheet over the barrel head, so you don't see what recipe it is. You don't get to see the age. You see nothing. And so that's kind of what it is, because I want you to pick the best barrel based on taste and what you like the best, versus like, oh, this is the oldest one, or this is the highest proof one, let's pick that. It's like, nope, which one tastes the best? And then that's the one they pick. And we've got like very quick turnaround time, because we're not going through distribution, and the clubs are usually local, and they'll just buy it straight from our website. So I can sell 4 bottles per person.
Yep.
And so they'll buy it on the website, then they come pick it up.
Boom.
Potentially a week turnaround, and they get to pick what wax color they want, like all that customization. They get to call it whatever they want to call it, like Doc Holliday. They called it that. So,
and guys, you can only sell one person 4 bottles per day in the club.
Per month.
Per month.
Really? Yeah. Every 30 days I can sell 4 bottles if I'm selling them direct. So if it goes through a retailer, yeah, you can go to Specs and drop 20 grand if you want.
Makes sense.
But it doesn't make sense actually, but that's the way it is.
Yeah, no, that part.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So the benefit to the club is customization objectively, and having it say putting their tweak
something
on.
Unique. Yeah, a fantastic whiskey that's unique to them, and then potentially, because a lot of the whiskey clubs, they want to drink good whiskey with other people in the club, and they want to learn about whiskey, and they want to network. So you need good whiskey to do that.
This is some of the best whiskey, people. This is the best whiskey. We've gone and bought a few not barrels, but bottles, and I tell you, man, we got it wrong. And every time we get through about a bottle or two,
the guy that was in the book club that came, I don't think you were here when he showed up, but he showed up with, I think, his wife. Real nice people. He said he stopped, I won't name the other distillery, but he stopped at another distillery and talked to them about barrel picks, and he's like, yeah, you got anything older than 2 years? Because they were only offering something that was 2 years old. And then he's like, we tried it and it tasted like weasel piss, is what he said. So I was like, yeah, weasel piss. I haven't had that, but I would guess that that's not very good. So when he called, he's like, hey, you got anything over 2 years? I was like, yeah, man, we don't even release anything we don't even give it an option for you to look at it if it's at least six years old. And if we're bottling it, it's at least 7 years old for our releases. So yeah, we've got some pretty good barrels.
Yeah.
And we're competing on a price point too. So something that's 2 to 3 years old, and we're doing double to triple that for a similar price, because we're not going through distribution. We're doing local stuff, and I can sell it directly out of here to the group to the group members, and then they come pick it up. So it's a great deal for everybody.
There you go, people. Well, that is getting a barrel, and we're going to walk you through, and probably one of the next videos, how he would choose a barrel, and starting with, I call this thing a receipt, but it's not. It's not a receipt, but Tim's going to teach us a little bit more in the next video. Stay tuned, people. Keep it whiskey, man.